Welcome creators, artists, smart professionals, and all those ready to take action and create a passion-centered lifestyle. This is another episode of the Creative Action Podcast. I'm your host, Bruno Flow. I dedicate my entire life to the mastery of my craft. From producing video games, music albums, and films, to creating websites, business projects, and marketing strategies. I'm also a martial artist, long-term meditator, and professional coach. As a creator or artist, your unique perspective sets you apart. I'm committed to help you on your path towards your own creative vision while sharing with you how to avoid the common traps that lead to existential anxiety, low energy, and burnout. Let's unlock greater levels of flow, freedom, and fulfillment together. Hello, how are you? I'm very happy to have you here on a new episode of the Creative Action Podcast. My name is Bruno and I want to talk about the fear of failure and how can you completely delete it. This is a very exciting theme for me because probably it's also for you because failure it's something I have been dealing with. Obviously everyone deals with failure, especially if you're an entrepreneur, if you are trying to create something different in your life, if you are not someone who easily gets lured into the trap of the rat race or the common path that school teach us how to live, what to do, where to go, how everything. So if you want to do things differently, you need to expose yourself to failure and to shame and to feeling not exactly good and comfortable. So this episode is about how to delete this fear of failure and how I hack my mind to do it, to move forward, to take action in spite of feeling failure. Because I will be very honest with you. I will be 100% honest. I deal with fear of failure every day. It's something that I don't know why I have it very ingrained inside me, inside my psyche. And I'm going to share with you something that when I learned it, it blew my mind. And it's not only about how to delete fear of failure, but about how to hack your mind to delete any kind of belief that might be stopping you from moving forward or to achieve whatever it is that you want to achieve. So you came here because you want to delete fear of failure, but you are going to learn something very a lot more important and something that if you uh, listen to my words and you start to apply this kind of insight that I'm going to share with you, it's going to change your life. That's the thing. This is the most similar thing I know to magic. Let's say it's amazing. So I want to share it with you very fast. Um, I when I was younger, I had this. I wanted to be able to express myself to girls, because I was younger. I wanted to hook up with girls and I didn't know how to do it. I was very shy, very shy. I couldn't be honest with the girl because I was afraid of harming her. I was afraid of the rejection, of the failure of getting rejected and exposing myself and my self image to that kind of experience. This was my start in self development because I wanted to change. I didn't accept that reality in my life. I wanted to learn to change. And I started reading about self development regarding attraction with girls and how to approach a girl if you like her, how to talk to her without being a cringe, without being cringe, and how to add value to the other person. And this experience didn't give me too much girls, to be honest, especially at the beginning because I was just learning, but gave me a lot of confidence and gave me this reference experience that when I fail, it's not I'm failing, in fact, it's just an interpretation about what's happening. So events are neutral. So if the girl comes to me and she says to me, you suck, or as I remember once, a girl told me, she started to telling me that my shirts were shit or something like that. Like she was criticizing my clothes, and I remember the sensation I had at that moment. It was I felt a lot of insecurity. She just hurt me in my worst place because I didn't have money to buy any shirts or anything at that moment. So I felt like shit. I remember crying after that. But well, that's what happens when you expose yourself sometimes. But what I learned from exposing myself to all that pain is that after you go through it, you can reframe it, because what happens is not a failure, it's something, it's a fact. Let's say that what happened is that the girl emitted a sound with her mouth, and that sound with her mouth, I interpret it as failure, basically. So what you do is you deconstruct what's happening, and you see after dissecting this event that failure is not inside it. Failure is something you add on top of it. So we could say that failure is not something real. It's not a fact. It's just an interpretation. So once you know this, once you know that failure is not real, you can start changing the way you perceive failure. Failure is just a word, it's just an interpretation, and you can change the word. What's stopping you to change the words you use? Words are the base of beliefs. Words are beliefs. Language is beliefs. If you say, I like potatoes, that statement exists because there is a language. So you believe in things because you can think in words. If not, you cannot think on anything. So failure is a word, failure is a belief, it's an interpretation. You can change the word, you can change the belief. And if you can change the belief, you can change the emotions, because your beliefs lead to emotions. If you think that something is good, when you experience that event, you will see that you will feel happy because you think that's good. If you think something's bad, when you experience that event, you will feel bad. So if you change your beliefs, you change your emotions. And what happens if you feel good? If you feel good, you act in a certain way, and if you feel bad, you also act in a different way. So your words are your beliefs. So failure is a belief. And if you change your beliefs, you change your emotions. If you change your emotions, you change your reactions. So you are doing an intervention in this cause and effect relationship, your psyche, let's say, in your whole spirit, in your whole mind. So this is called reframing. Reframing is when you grab an interpretation you have about a fact and you change the interpretation. You start saying, oh, this is great, even if you don't really still don't believe that. You start using different words. So you can, I would give you two words I use to reframe failure that are very helpful for me and that move me to a better mindset, a better space where I can act more effortlessly, more motivated. One of these words or concepts is partial results. You can start talking about partial results. So when you experience something that normally you will say it's a failure, you don't say failure, you say partial results. Oh yeah, I had these partial results about this. Maybe you feel like a bit clumsy word, like I don't know, partial results. Like, who speaks like that? Well, yeah, that's only one option. I use that. Maybe I don't talk to people in that way. Partial results. Maybe I say more this another word which is very similar, which is called reference experience. So if there is something that happens that maybe you don't like, or it happened and you will normally say it's a failure, say it is a reference experience. It's only one experience you have as a reference. So with this reference you can learn, you can move forward, and all this will move you to a new type of mindset, a new mindset in which failure is something good, because failure, quote unquote, will help you to learn, will help you to continue in your desired path of growth. So this will take you to a mindset that is, I like the motto that Facebook had, which tried to, I think, convey this mindset, which is move fast and break things. So that's the idea. If you can fail very often because you are not attached to not failing. And if you fail a lot, you will learn a lot for sure. There is no, I'm very sure you will learn a lot if you fail a lot. So that's the reason of this motto, move fast and break things. And that's what you should be aiming to if you want to learn a new way of being in this world. If you want to learn how to create this new life you want to create, or this business or this creative project you want to start moving, you need to embrace failure and continue failing very fast a lot of times, so you can iterate on your process, iterate on what you learn, start applying it in real time. And I will give you a bonus. It's not only about reframing the failure, saying, failure is good, it's great. You can also train yourself to feel good after a failure event. And this is like the hardcore way of doing it. After you fail, after you have this experience, which could be something sad for you because, oh, I failed, no, no, you, what you do is you do something that makes you feel good, and it can be anything. It could be having an ice cream. It could be start doing something that evokes good emotions to you. With my friend, what I did, because when we started with this thing about approaching girls and trying to expose ourselves to rejection and trying to learn how to do it in a way that's not cringe and that actually is attractive to the other person. Well, we had very bad nights. Like, oh man, like a lot of rejections. And what we did, it was like reframing the failure and saying like, wow, this was amazing. This, when she said that to me, it was amazing to feel that sensation in my chest, like starting to fake the failure event. And we laugh a lot with that joke. With it, it was like we were laughing about ourselves. And in that way, we start to frame our failures as something funny, something very fun to do. And we have new stories to tell our friends. And we start to build up that sensation that we were gaining things when failing. We were winning. In fact, we were winning. It was a different interpretation. Failing, winning, who knows? So we start. It was a good way of. Was very traumatic for moments. It was traumatic. It was traumatic. And reframing it as something good, something that was helping us. So I invite you to do that. Obviously, maybe it's not about approaching girls, because I was younger and I had that need to learn how to do that. But maybe you need to learn how to approach clients, future clients, and you feel this fear of rejection, or you need to approach, I don't know, your boss, or someone and tell him something very hard, and you feel this, you feel afraid of failing, this thing that may go wrong. But with this tool, you can hack your mind after this failure, let's say, and say, no, it's not a failure. I'm moving forward. I'm creating something new. Okay, yes, I have this new reference experience with that teach me this thing about I don't know, X, A, B, and C, whatever. So yes, train yourself to feel good after, let's say, failing, quote unquote. This happened to me also when I went to Thailand this year. Well, no, last year, because we are in 2024 right now. In 2023, I went to Thailand to compete in Muay Thai. Muay Thai is a sport, a martial art. I was training very hardcore for 2 years, almost. Muay Thai. I start first in Thailand, then I went back to Argentina, my country. I continued learning here 1 year, and then I went back to Thailand to fight in Thailand. What happened is that I had my first fight and I lost my first fight, and it was very shit because I was blasted by the Thai guy. The Thai guy was very strong. He had experience. I didn't have any experience. My legs felt very tight, very like heavy. I couldn't kick anything. I had this sensation. How do you say it? When you, yeah, I had this fight or flight response that somehow made me not being able to perform at my 100%. But yes, it was like a failure because I lost, but and I felt a little bit sad after the fight. But then after that, after recovering, because the problem here is when you fail, it's not that it is only a rejection. When you fail in a fight, you get blasted. So you are physically destroyed, and that's something that's very tough. And I like also because it's very hardcore. But yes, it's like you are blasted with your body and also your emotions, everything. You are at a low point when you, after a fight, if you lose. But at least for me, it was because it was my first fight. And after a week of recovery, oh no, man, I didn't lose. This was pure profit. I learned a lot. I put myself in that situation in a ring in Thailand. What the fuck? How I made that? How I could possible? How I, how I managed to do that? Like I was training 6 times per week, the Monday to Saturday, and training 6 hours per day to get to that point. So it was a lot of profit, a lot of profit. Learn about discipline, learn about a different culture, learn about Muay Thai with the training in the best possible place ever. So this failure was pure profit, and I invite you to reframe your failures in this way. If you don't do this, if you continue to give your energy to this uh, interpretation like you are losing, you are failing, if you are not using these words like partial results and reference experience, you will continue to feel like shit. You will continue to feel paralyzed and not moving forward. You need to do something about it. You cannot continue like this. You need to change something. So maybe for you it's different, right? It's difficult to change your actions, but you can change your words. Nothing is stopping you to hack your mind with using different words and fake it at first. Yeah, don't use failure. Use reference experience. Yes, it will feel weird. Yes, but you know what? If you can start to do that and you start to train yourself to feel good after, or better say, experience, everything will change. You will start to grow. You will start to move. And that's what I want for you. I want to start moving forward. I want you to start taking creative action. Okay, you can do this. You can do this. It's a lot of people with lot of less talents than you have took a lot of action because you don't need any talent to take action. And the most successful people, people that created the greatest things in the world, they weren't necessarily talented. They weren't necessarily having it easy. They just took action. They had the right mindset to move forward. So it's not about being intelligent. It's not about being smart only or being talented. It's about having this right mindset to move forward. So, well, that was it. That was the episode about how to delete the fear of failure. I hope you can start applying this advice to hack your mind to move forward in spite of all this fear you may have. And I wish you the best with your projects. I wish you the best with everything you are doing. You are doing good. You are doing good listening to this podcast. Continue like this. Continue in this moment of learning and aiming high, aiming high towards your dreams. Continue on that way. I encourage you. Okay, see you later. Thank you for listening. Bye bye. Like what you heard today? Then remember, real transformation only happens when you take creative action. Curious about the possibility of crafting a passion-centered lifestyle with me and my team? Visit brunoflow.com/clarity and apply for a free clarity session call.